Hey there, welcome back to Storytime TV. I'm Karen, Peyton's mom, and today I'm excited to read to you The Gold Egg by Ule B. Now this book was sent to us by the author. The author wrote this book over a period of many years, partly inspired by his father, who was also a writer, and his father wrote under the pen name Ule B. So pen name means that's not his real name or his actual name he goes by day to day. It's the name he would use just for writing. So the author of this story was inspired by his dad and his writing and decided to use his pen name for this one. I hope you enjoy it. In the land of Pertuffle, in the valley of Nop, there's a very tall tree with a nest at the top. And around this big tree, boys and girls like to play. They play baseball and football and marbles all day. When the sun's shining bright and the weather's too hot, do you think they keep playing? Why, no, they do not. But instead they all sit in the cool of the shade, and they brag like kids do while they drink lemonade. One day, while they sat looking up at the sky, an elderly man with a cane happened by. And he spoke to the kids. "My young friends, do you see? Do you see the small nest in the top of that tree?" "Why, of course," they replied. "That's a Cluny bird nest. They always build theirs high above all the rest. But the bird that made that one has left long ago, 'cause that nest has been there for as long as we know." "You are right," said the man. "And do you know why the Cluny bird nest in this tree is so high? Do you know why she built it so high in the air? It protects the gold egg that she left lying there." Now the children, amused with what they just heard about a pure golden egg in the nest of some bird, started in one by one, making fun of the man. "Well, then climb up and get it, old man, if you can." While they laughed and they teased the old man with the cane, making fun of the story he told them that day, near the trunk of the tree stood a small boy named Devin, who said not a word. He just gazed up towards heaven. It was so very high up he could just barely see the Cluny bird nest in the top of that tree. And though only a fool would have wasted his time, Devin grabbed the first branch and he started to climb. "Come back down," yelled his friends. "You are foolish to try. You never could climb to that nest. It's too high. And besides, what's the use? There's no gold in that tree. There never has been, and there never will be." And though Devin supposed they were probably right, still he grabbed the next branch and he held to it tight. Then he pulled himself up, inch by inch, up the tree. "If there's gold in that nest, I will have it," said he. Then suddenly, crack! What a terrible sound! As a branch broke, young Devin came tumbling down. His friends rushed to help the bruised boy in the dirt. "Are you well? Are you whole? Can you see? Are you hurt?" As he lay on his back, Devin spoke not a word. He just looked at the tree toward the nest of that bird, wondering to himself what his next step would be. Wondering, was a gold egg worth climbing that tree? "Don't worry," his friend said. "You gave it your best. You tried, but no one could have climbed to that nest." But they all were surprised as he wiped off the dust, and he said, "I must climb to that gold egg. I must." More determined this time, Devin grabbed the first limb. If anyone could do this, he knew it was him. First one hand, then the other, placing feet with great care, he went back up that tree towards the nest that was there. The climb wasn't easy. The weather was hot. His fingers were sore and his arms hurt a lot. It seemed such a ways to the Cluny bird nest. So he sat on a branch for a much-needed rest. And he thought while he sat, looking down at his friends, who had gone back to playing their games without him. With the aches in his arms and the pains in his hands, he started to question why he ever began. "Oh, I never will make it. I'm just wasting my time." But a voice in his heart told him, "Climb, Devin, climb." He had worked much too hard, now he just couldn't stop. So he took a deep breath and he climbed to the top. And with every last ounce of his strength, he reached in to the nest in the tree on the uppermost limb. And he felt something smooth, something round, slightly cold. So he lifted it up. An egg of pure gold. The old man was right. It really was there. Then why, Devin thought, did he leave it up here? Why did he leave the gold egg in this tree? And why would he share such a secret with me? As he sat and he thought in that tree near the top, he happened to glance on the valley of Nop, when the sight that he saw nearly made his heart stop. All the trees, every one, had gold eggs at the top. Every tree had a nest, every nest filled with gold. Looking out from this tree was a sight to behold. But you couldn't see it as you stood on the ground. You had to be up in a tree looking down. You had to climb high to behold such a sight. You had to survive bumps and bruises and fright. You had to be strong when the battle was hot. You had to have courage when others did not. Then all of a sudden, the message was clear. There was more to this climb than the egg lying here. There was more than just gold and the treasure it brings. What he learned from this climb was a much greater thing. As we reach for our goals, as we struggle each day, there are so many obstacles set in our way, and those who are weak quickly settle for less. But the great hold on tight as they climb towards that nest. Devin now understood golden eggs are not rare, for as he could see, they were found everywhere. But the treasure of life that is hardest to find is a boy or a girl with the courage to climb. And like Devin, they learned that it isn't the gold, it isn't the glory or riches untold. It's the effort and challenge, it's doing your best. It's knowing you've conquered the climb to that nest. So tucking the egg in his pocket with care, Devin climbed down the tree to his friends waiting there, who teased as they asked him, "Well, what did you see? Was there gold in that nest in the top of the tree?" Devin reached in his pocket, very eager to show the gold he had found so his friends would all know. But before he did so, he caught sight of the man, still holding the cane in his wrinkly hand. The man gave him a look, a sly smile, and a wink. Then Devin turned to his friends and said, "Here's what I think. If you really want to know what I found in that tree, climb up there yourself, and then you will see." Then, shaking their heads, each one walked away. "Come on," they all said. "We would much rather play." Whatever it was that he found in that tree, they never would know, they never would see. In the land of Pertuffle, in the valley of Nop, there's a very tall tree with a nest at the top. And around this big tree, girls and boys like to play. They play baseball and football and marbles all day. And in the top of that tree, and the others around, lie pure golden eggs, waiting there to be found. And if you have the courage, as did Devin that day, you may find your gold egg is just a few bruises away. At the end of the book, there's a letter from the author, Dan Wyson, all about his father, Joseph, and how he was raised and how he grew up, and the story of writing this book over a period of over 30 years, and then honoring his father by using his father's pen name, Ule B. What did you think of that story? I really like it a lot. I think it's great, not just for kids, but for adults too, because we grown-ups can sometimes forget that hard things are worth doing and that we can do hard things. And sometimes only through challenging things in life do you get the greatest rewards. I hope you enjoyed this book, and thank you so much to Dan Wyson for sending it to us. Join us next time on Storytime TV. Bye!
I hope you liked this story. Be sure to hit like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for visiting Storytime TV.